because we can't hear them. Okay, you're going to take some notes while I tell you the story. You're going to need 3 columns. Where are my pens? There we go. No, open the whiteboard. 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 Oh, there it is. All right. Columna 1. Personajes. What do you think that might mean? Anna.
People in a story?
Yes, the characters. Personaje means character. So personajes, characters. So let's pretend that we're learning a story about Megan. So if Megan is the main character in our story, we'll put her name under here because she's one of the characters. But then you should also include like any information you learn about who they are and what they like. So we could put under here like heart, martial arts, heart, snails, 2 sisters, crazy mom, just kidding. So like details that you learn about them, like who they are, what they're like. Okay? You can take notes in English or Spanish, or my favorite, Spanglish. Okay? So any combination of the 3 as long as the information is on your page. Next. Escenario. What do we think a scenario might be? Alexis?
Like a scenario?
You're close. You're close. Jack?
Like the setting of it?
Yes. The setting of it, where it takes place, when it takes place, even details like what's the weather like? What day is it? Those types of things. I may not tell you those things, but if they come up in the story. And then lastly, los eventos. Sarah?
Like things that happen, like events?
Yes, the events of the story. So, picking on Megan. Okay, so let's pretend that our character is Megan. And the scene, it's at her house. It's midnight. It's windy. She can't sleep. The events. Number 1. Megan goes to bed hoping she'll get a good night rest because she's tired. Number 2. Megan is awoken at midnight from a loud bang. Number 3. She wanders into a kitchen. Number 4. There's a giant snail stealing the food from the refrigerator. Number 5. Megan talks to the snail. Number 6. The snail is her best friend now. Okay, so that's what we mean by events. You're listing kind of like the main points of what happens in the story. You don't have to write everything down. I mean, obviously I didn't need to copy down the whole conversation where Megan was like, snail, what are you doing in here? And the snail goes, "Go." And Megan goes, I don't understand you because that's not English. And the snail goes, "Go." And Megan says, well, we can be friends. You don't need to steal the food from our refrigerator. Because those aren't like the main points of the story. Okay? So, as I tell the story, I'm going to draw things out. I might ask you some questions to make sure you're following along and understanding. But while I'm telling the story, you're taking notes. Because at the end of the story, I'm going to come around and check your notes. And if they're not filled in, you're not going to get a good grade on them. As long as they're filled in, you get 100%. Got it?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. And then we'll go through the notes kind of at the end. El personaje principal. What do you think this might be that I'm going to tell you about first before we dive in? Riley?
A story about a principal?
No. Everyone likes to guess that, and I understand why. But what did we learn that this means? Character. Has nothing to do with being a principal. Anna? The one I'm staring at? Mm-hmm.
The main character?
Yes. The principal character, the main character, the most important person. Brianna, I really need you to show me you're paying attention and engaged. So, el personaje principal se llama Bo. Bo es el personaje principal. So that's what you should write down under your personaje column. And now I'm going to tell you about it. Bo es un muchacho. Y Bo tiene 16 años. Which means he's
16.
Sí. Y Bo vive con su familia en una casa. Vive con su familia en la casa. Pero en la casa con la familia, Bo no es popular. No es popular con la familia. Pobre Bo. Qué triste. Pero en la escuela, Bo es muy popular. Es muy popular en la escuela con amigos. Pero en la casa, no. Y Bo piensa estoy triste porque no soy popular en la casa. Alright, so there's some background information for you about Bo. Well, not everything. You can write shortcuts, short notes.
I wrote
You can write it all.
like all of it.
But like, do you guys know about a shorthand about writing? Like, even in English? Like where you can like shorten words to make it easier to take notes. Have you guys ever learned this skill before? Like instead of writing the whole word because, you could put like that. Or where with in English, abbreviation for with is that. Things like that. So like in Spanish, kind of how I took notes, which might be how you took notes too. Like what I wrote on here, I didn't write every word I said, did I? So maybe I would probably, this is how I would take notes. That is the short version of saying what I said about him at school. Same with this one. So if you wrote it like me, you are already writing the shorthand, and you're writing the short version. Or if you're writing it in English, you could put the same thing. Family equals not popular. School equals popular. Things like that, okay? All right, here we go. Now that you know Bo. Un día, Bo y su familia. Okay. Bo y su familia están en la casa. Y la familia está, give me a minute here, a la mesa. Bo está sentado a la mesa. Y su mamá, oh, wrong direction of the eyebrow. No, it wasn't. Oh. Y su mamá está sentada a la mesa. Y su papá está sentado a la mesa. Y su hermano está sentado a la mesa. ¿Hermano en inglés? Sí, okay. Y, don't ask me why it's so crooked. Go with it. Su abuelo está sentado a la mesa. Abuelo en inglés? abuelo.
Grandpa.
Sí, ok. Y mira, Bo está a este lado de la mesa y la familia está al otro lado. ¿Por qué? Bo no es popular con la familia. Y también el perro. El perro está a la mesa. Ok, la familia va a comer. Va a comer. Y Bo tiene sopa. Bo tiene sopa. Bo tiene sopa. ¿Sopa en inglés?
Sí.
Sí. Y Bo mira la sopa y piensa, ¡oh! ¡Qué asco! No quiero comer la sopa. ¿Por qué? La sopa no es normal. Es una sopa agresiva. What kind of a soup? La sopa tiene burbujas. Blub, 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 blub. Burbujas. Sí. Y la sopa come la cuchara. La sopa come la cuchara. The Jack?
Spoon.
La sopa en inglés,
Soup.
come
Eats.
la cuchara.
Spoon.
Sí. Porque la sopa es agresiva. Y Bo no quiere comer la sopa. ¡Qué asco! Pero su mamá le dice, Bo, la sopa es buena. Cómela. Y Bo dice, no. Y en la mesa hay pan. Pan en inglés? Sí. Y Bo mira el pan. Y Bo piensa, oh, qué delicioso. Yo quiero comer el pan. Bo le encanta el pan. So what does he want?
The bread.
Sí. Y Bo le pregunta a su mamá, Mamá, ¿me pasas el pan? What did he ask her? Y su mamá le responde, no. Y Bo piensa, su mamá le responde, no. Entonces, Bo está muy enojado. Y Bo se levanta y sale de la casa. Y sí. Bo va a un restaurante. Oh, that's really big doors. Bo va a un restaurante. Oh. Con amigos. Va al restaurante con amigos. ¿Por qué Bo es popular con los amigos? Y los amigos entran en el restaurante. Y los amigos le piden pan. Por favor, nos trae pan. Pero hay un problema. Es un restaurante mexicano. Y cuando los amigos le piden pan, la mesera, the waitress, la mesera, dice, no tenemos pan. Tenemos chips y salsa. Y los amigos le dicen, no. La mesera dice, tenemos guacamole. Y los amigos le dicen, no. Queremos pan. Pero el restaurante no tiene pan. Entonces, los amigos van a otro restaurante. El fin. Bo, pobre Bo. All he ever wanted was some bread. Now, if you were writing the rest of the story, would you give him his bread?
No.
Who says yes, I would let him have his bread? Oh, you all are so kind. Who says no, I want to torture
He
him?
doesn't get bread. I want to torture him for at least 2 more.
2 more stops?
Yep.
Okay,
2 more
okay.
stops, and then he can have all the bread he wants.
All right. So, take a moment, make sure you have the events and the different items filled in. So for your people, you don't have to say like one friend that's a girl and one friend that's a boy. You could just say like friends are in the story, right? You could say families in the story. If you wanted to add some details about family, you could, but you don't have to. The scene, the setting, where did the different story take place? Make sure you have those different places listed. The events, think about starting in the beginning, what happened, and then continuing on, where did they go, what happened, how did it end? And finish filling those in. Online peeps, you need to upload a picture of your notes for me, attach it to the assignment or send it to me, and that's what you're going to get a grade on. I'm going to come around and check yours with a smelly marker. So let's see what smell will we end up with today. Hopefully not black licorice. Cherry!
Ooh, that's my favorite.
Cherry it is.
Eat it. Yum.
Es un marcador.
It's delicious.
No es delicious. want to take a solid width, you can.
My sister actually just colored her family. Sometimes she puts stuff in smelly gas. Then it like bleeds all over. Yes. This leopard, they should make smelly gas. Did I do this? Yeah. As long as no one
Oh,
eats
yeah, that's
them,
fine.
good.
You made it even more organized than you needed to.
Because then you could like be smelling your mask all day and not have to smell your breath.
All right.
Sometimes
Using your notes. You need them out. What? I don't want to do this. Leave me alone.
No, please.
Using your notes,
Using my notes.
you're going to help me write a quick summary of this.
Oh, okay.
We're going to I guess take a minute and look at what you wrote down and think about
I can't read what I wrote.
well, that's a problem. Think about what are the 3 most important things that happened in the story. Just think about it, look at it. Ignore this. This is not for you. This is 8th grade. Okay. Think about it. El título. What should we title this? Bo quiere pan. What do you think?
Yeah. I like pop.
Pan.
Yeah, pop.
Just pan. Han. Okay, we're going to start by introducing our main character. So, Bo es un muchacho. Tiene ¿cuántos años? 10, 5, 2, un bebé. Tiene 16 años y en la casa no es popular. Pero en la escuela es muy popular. Okay, now thinking about the lovely incident in the dining room. I don't want to write a whole page here. So what could we say and summarize what happens in the dining room? Megan? Okay. What about en la casa? So we gotta say where it's taking place, right? En la casa, Bo tiene, what does he have? Tiene sopa. Tiene sopa agresiva y terrible. Con burbujas. Con burbujas. Tiene sopa, pero quiere, gracias, quiere pan, pero su mamá pencil is making noise. Pero su mamá no le pasa el pan. All right, and what? Bo va a dónde? A la escuela, al parque. Sarah?
He leaves the house and goes to a restaurant.
Sí. Va a un restaurante con amigos. Pero el restaurante no tiene pan. El restaurante no tiene feather too, but they use it for pen. Why?
Because there's feather pens.
Back in the day, they used to use feathers and dip them in ink and write with them like pens. And if I say bolígrafo, which is the other word for pen, bolígrafo de poder, it just doesn't sound as good. Right, exactly. Pluma de poder! En inglés. In English, as I point to the words. Here we go.
Title. Bread. Bo is a boy. He has.
Ooh, yes. Okay, so in Spanish, when they talk about age, they talk about how many years you have. So this is literally he has. Start with that.
He has 16 years, and in the house, no is popular, but in the school is very popular.
Nice.
In the house, Bo has Sue, aggressive and terrible, with bubbles.
I'm gonna write this one down because I'm worried you might forget what that means.
But bubbles is making me remember something.
Well, you should keep your memory in your head and not say anything.
Something about the 7th graders.
Great. All right, start with he wants. Here we go.
He wants bread, but his mom doesn't.
Ooh, good job knowing that the no, when we're using it with a verb, is going to mean doesn't. Okay, anyway, doesn't. All right. Okay, let's start with his mom. Here we go.
His mom doesn't to him pass the bread.
You're good.
Bo goes to a restaurant with friends, but the restaurant doesn't have bread.
Oh my gosh, I forgot a word. All right, here we go. Let's try that again.
The friends go.
All right, let's start with that. Here we go.
The friends go to a restaurant. Sad face.
Excellent. All right, grab your computers. Make sure you add your notes.